There's a road just outside Canton, New York that most people pass without a second thought. It's a simple green sign, a stretch of farmland, a few old houses. But what if I told you that this quiet road was once the front line of survival, a place where families fleeing famine, poverty, and war carved their futures out of raw North Country wilderness and built one of the first true immigrant communities in St. Lawrence County? This is the Irish Settlement Road, the story of how a handful of Irish families changed the North Country forever. Welcome back, everybody, to Street Sign Storytime, where we are trying to add real history to the North Country and not so much made up, funny, unrealistic, but could it have happened stories that we have done in the past. And without further ado, we're going to give you the history of what I was able to find of the Irish Settlement Road. But first, before we do this, check out the links in the description of all of our friends. You supporting them really does help this channel and us. Let's jump into this, because before anyone called this Irish settlement, before the stone fences or even the field lines, this land was forest. Nothing but forest. The Canton-Morley corridor in the early 1800s was harsh. It was isolated, and it was pretty unforgiving. There were no paved roads, no farms, no towns, just a few scattered settlers, and a river system that carried more logs than people. The land was beautiful. Yes, there was rolling hills, good soil, thick timber, but it took a hard kind of person to survive it, which is exactly the kind of people who are about to arrive. Between 1815 and 1850, Northern New York saw one of the first major immigration waves. Irish families who were escaping crushing poverty, British rule, and eventually the Great Famine. Many came through Canada first. They crossed the St. Lawrence River at towns like Prescott, Brockville, and made their way into the frontier settlements like Ogdensburg, Canton, and Potsdam. The land around what is now the Irish Settlement Road was attractive for one reason. It was cheap, often sold or granted for almost nothing, because it needed enormous labor to clear. But these families, they had labor, they had faith, and more importantly, they had each other. They cut their farms by hand, they built their homes with whatever timber they felled, they hauled stones into fences that still stand today, like old bones in the soil. This wasn't just a road, it became an identity, a cluster of Irish Catholic families forming one of the earliest immigration communities in the North Country. By the 1840s, the Irish settlement area was thriving in its own kind of rugged way. Small farms stretched from Canton towards Morley. Crops, they were modest. You had oats, you had barley, you had potatoes, whatever else could survive the short seasons. Families relied on each other as much as they relied on the land. Communities like these became the backbone of northern New York and the agriculture. They built the early roads, they supplied local markets, and helped grow Canton from a settlement into a village. If you drive the Irish Settlement Road today and you look closely, you can still see some signs of them. You got the old field lines, you have stone piles from hand-cleared farms. There's foundations that are tucked into hedgerows, and occasionally 19th century homes still standing. Quiet, weathered survivors. Every one of those stones was placed by someone who came here with nothing and refused to leave with nothing. Religion held this community together. Many of these early settlers helped shape the Catholic presence in Canton and Morley long before churches were built in their current locations. Weddings, funerals, baptism, holidays, they were all celebrated in simple homes along what became Irish Settlement Road. The stretch of farmland was never wealthy, it was never flashy, but it was a tight-knit, tough, proud. These were families that shaped Canton's character, the backbone residents who helped the town expand, start businesses, build schools, and create the community that we know it as today. And their legacy, it's not written on plaques, it's written in the land itself. And today, Irish Settlement Road, it looks pretty peaceful. There's farmhouses, there's cornfields, there's still rolling hills. It's a sign that blends it all into the scenery. But beneath that quiet surface is the story of an entire people, a story that was written in sweat, faith, and back-breaking work, and, well, the belief that they could build a better life far, far away from home. This road didn't just get its name. This road, it earned it. Irish Settlement Road. It's more than just a rural shortcut. It's a reminder that the North Country was built by immigrants who carved their future out of the forest. One tree, one field, one stone at a time. So the next time you drive down the Irish Settlement Road or even by it, say the name out loud, because names like this, they matter. They remind us of that behind every quiet road in the North Country, there's a story, a real story, about people who arrived with hope, stayed with courage, and left behind the land we live on today. Irish Settlement Road isn't just a place, it's a testament to survival. It's a chapter of the North Country history, written by hands that never gave up. And well, in my opinion, that's worth remembering. So there you have it. The Irish Settlement Road, Canton, New York, Street Sign Storytime. Can't thank you enough for taking some time out of your busy day to watch this. Share it to a friend, your grandma, somebody, the closest person you know that lives near the Irish Settlement Road or an Irish Settlement Road. There's a lot of them out there. And again, we can't thank you enough. We'll do this again next week. And as always, if you have a recommendation, you drive by a road, you want to know about a road, let me know. And we'll dig into some real history about these roads. That's all I got. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.